Welcome to PennyNest, your go-to source for smart financial habits. In today's deep dive, sourced from PennyNest, we're tackling two essential topics for anyone starting their savings journey: how to prioritize your savings goals and how to use sinking funds to prepare for future expenses.
Yeah, these are really simple, but honestly super powerful tools. They bring structure, confidence to your money plan.
Let's dive in then, because it really is easy to feel, well, overwhelmed, right? You want to save for a house, pay off debt, travel, retirement. It's a lot.
It absolutely is. And the source makes a great point. You have to prioritize. Your resources are limited. Simple as that. Trying to do everything at once, that just leads to feeling stressed and, frankly, not getting very far.
Okay, let's unpack that. It feels like a big puzzle. So prioritization isn't just deciding what, it's figuring out the how, the roadmap.
Exactly. It cuts through the noise. PennyNest gives this practical step-by-step. First up, brainstorm all your goals, everything. Short-term, long-term, get it all down on paper.
List everything. Got it.
Yeah.
Then make them real, right? Put like a dollar amount and a timeline on them.
Precisely. Like maybe a starter emergency fund is, say, $1,500 you need AS tests. Or that house down payment, maybe that's $50,000 in 5 years. Concrete makes it, well, manageable.
Okay. And then the source mentions this litmus test, assessing importance and urgency.
Yeah, that's the key filter. How crucial is this goal for your basic financial health? Is there a deadline? What happens if you wait? That kind of thing.
Makes sense. So based on that, PennyNest lays out this 3-tier system, especially helpful for beginners, it seems. Tier 1, the must-haves.
Tier 1 is your absolute foundation. We're talking a starter emergency fund, maybe $1K or $2, really aggressively paying down high-interest debt, anything over, say, 10-12% APR, like credit cards. That's a killer.
Oof, yeah, credit cards.
And crucially, getting that full employer 401K or pension match, it's literally free money. You absolutely grab that first. That's where the focus needs to be initially.
Right, trying to save while carrying that high-interest debt is like swimming upstream. So tier 1 first, then tier 2, the should-haves.
Tier 2 is about building more security, looking at those bigger future goals. So building your full emergency fund, 3 to 6 months of expenses. Consistently saving for retirement beyond just the company match.
Okay.
Maybe starting to save for a house down payment or paying off debt with, moderate interest rates, maybe below 5 or 6%.
And tier 3 is the nice-to-haves. Vacations, hobbies, that kind of stuff.
Yep. The wants, the shorter-term desires. The principle is clear. Hammer away at tier 1 first. Once that's solid, shift your main effort to tier 2. Then tier 3 comes into play as you have more capacity.
And it's interesting how things like high interest rates or that employer match just automatically push certain goals into tier 1, isn't it?
Totally. The source shows it's about securing that base camp. It's non-negotiable, really, before you aim higher.
Okay, that prioritization framework is super helpful. But how do you actually manage saving for multiple things without rating the wrong fund? This is where sinking funds come in, according to PennyNest.
Right, sinking funds. The source defines them as dedicated savings pots for expenses you know are coming. Planned expenses. Anticipated.
That's a really important distinction they make. A sinking fund is for, say, your annual car insurance or holiday gifts, maybe a planned trip. It's not your emergency fund.
Exactly. Keep them separate. The emergency fund is purely for the unexpected crises, job loss, sudden big medical bill, major car repair. You don't touch that for plain stuff.
So what are the big benefits of using sinking funds then?
Well, huge ones. You avoid debt, you avoid interest charges because the cash is just sitting there waiting. It reduces stress massively because you know that bill is covered, and it makes budgeting way more accurate. Big goals feel less daunting broken down.
Okay, and common examples are things like annual bills, holidays, travel.
Car maintenance, home repairs you see coming, gifts. Yeah, stuff like that. Things you can plan for.
So how do you actually set one up, practically speaking?
PennyNest makes it pretty simple. First, identify the goal, the expense, estimate the cost, figure out when you need the money.
Okay.
Then it's just basic math. Divide the total cost by the number of months you have left. So $600 for insurance in 6 months, that's $100 a month you need to set aside. Easy.
And where you keep this money is key, the source says. Separate accounts.
Definitely. They strongly suggest using separate high-yield savings accounts, HYSAs, or even just labeled sub-accounts at your bank. Keeps it mentally separate, earns a bit of interest maybe, and crucially, it's accessible when you need it. Don't invest short-term money like this.
Right, too risky. And the final piece, automation.
Non-negotiable, according to the source. Set up automatic transfers. Right after payday, move that money into a sinking fund. Treat it like paying a bill to yourself for the future.
And when the fund is full, or you spend it,
Use it for the goal. If it was a one-off, maybe close the fund. If it's recurring, like that insurance, you just keep it going. Start saving immediately for the next year's bill. It brings so much clarity, reduces that money stress.
it really does sound like it shifts you from being reactive to proactive with those known expenses.
Absolutely. It's a game changer for feeling in control.
You've just taken a big step toward mastering your savings game. If you found this helpful, be sure to explore more tips and guides at pennynest.com. See you in the next deep dive, and remember, your financial future is built one smart decision at a time.
And just to leave you with something to think about, building on this,
Right.
what's one small anticipated expense you could maybe start a sinking fund for today, just to get that little bit of extra peace of mind?